So, hello. Welcome to your second day of being at home when you normally would be at school. Today is March 17th. It is St. Patty's Day, so hopefully, even though you might not see any other humans, you're wearing green in celebration of that. If you're in my classroom, you know that today is number 7's birthday, so I'm not going to say his name, but number 7 is having his birthday today. So maybe we can sign a birthday shirt in spirit for him, since he won't be getting to wear one of those today. And for those of you who like to know what the fun day of the week was, today my calendar says it's National Submarine Day. So here we go. So today we're just going over what we've learned the past few days about measurement. We've learned customary. Remember, that's what we use in America. We've done customary length, which is distance, customary capacity, which is how much a container can hold, and we've done customary weight. So here we go. I'm going to read the first question, and I'm going to start with number 2. So Afton made a chicken dish for dinner. She added a 10-ounce package of vegetables and a 14-ounce package of rice to 40 ounces of chicken. What was the total weight in pounds? So I have to do 2 steps. First, I have to add it up in ounces and then convert that to pounds. So I'm going to add 40 plus 14 plus 10. I quickly know that that is 50. So 50 plus 14, I know that's going to be 64. So 64 ounces is how many pounds? Or remember, I really should technically put LB for pounds. So I need to remember, what is that common unit? I know that there are 16 ounces in a pound. There's 8 ounces in a cup, but there's 16 ounces in a pound. So I need to think of which is bigger. Pounds is definitely bigger. So I'm going fly to horse, divide of course, and I'm going to divide by 16. So 64 divided by 16, and I'm just going to make a guess, and I'm going to try, what do I know? Well, I'm not going to make a guess. I'm going to use a smart guess. 6 times what can go into a number that ends in a 4? Well, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24. Let's try with 4. So if I try 4, 16 times 4, 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So I'm going to put a 4 up there. So 16 can go into 64 4 times. So there are 4 pounds of her chicken dish. Okay, let's try the next question. A jar contains 26 fluid ounces of spaghetti. How many cups of spaghetti sauce do 4 jars contain? So 2 steps. First, I have to think of, 1 jar contains 26 fluid ounces, and I have to multiply that by 4 because there's 4 jars. So if I was drawing a picture, they would each have 26. So I'm going to do 26 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, so 104. So there's 104 fluid ounces in 4 jars. And then I want to know how many cups that is. So I have to think. I know that there are 8 fluid ounces in a cup. I know a cup is bigger. So I'm going fly to horse, divide of course, and I'm going to divide by 8. And I'm going to go to another page. 104 divided by 8. 8 can't go into 1, but it can go into 10. So I'm going to put 2 dashes there. 8 can go into 10 one time, with that being 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. I subtract. I bring down my 4. 8 can go into 24 3 times, so 13 is my answer. So there's 13 cups of spaghetti sauce. Next question. Coach Kent brings 3 quarts of sports drinks to soccer practice. He gives the same amount of drink to 16 players. How many ounces does each player get? So I have to do lots of things. I have to think, he brings 3 quarts. First I need to figure out how many ounces that is, and then I'm going to divide by 16. So I have to think of Gallon Kingdom. In Gallon Kingdom, there are 4 queens Each queen has a prince and a princess. Each prince and each princess have 2 cats. And I know that each cat drinks 8 ounces. So if I were to do this, I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cups. So 16 times 8 will tell me how many ounces are in a... Oh, he said quarts. I got ahead of myself. 3 quarts, excuse me. So let's try that again. So in Gallon Kingdom, there are... You know what? I could have used that. Let's go back. Sorry. Lots of thoughts at one time. Okay, so it says 3 quarts. And I want to know how many ounces that is. Well, I could technically just look at the picture. If I take 3 quarts, I'm taking this quart, and this quart. And I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cups. So 12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So there's 96. There's 96 ounces in 3 quarts. But I need to figure out, if of that 96 ounces, how much does each player get? So I'm going to do 96 divided by, I believe I said there are 16 players. 16 cannot go into 9, but how many times can it go into 16? Or 96. I'm going to think of it as 15 because I can count my 15s so easily. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. I'm going to guess 5 times. 16 times 5 is going to, let's do 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Let's try to go one more time. So 5 wasn't high enough. Let's try 6. 16 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So my answer is going to be... So each player is going to get 6 ounces. Leslie needs 324 inches of fringe to put around the edge of a tablecloth. And the fringe comes in lengths of 10 yards. If she buys 1 package of fringe, how much feet will she have left over? Okay, so lots of things. So she needs 324 inches. That's what she needs to put fringe. You know what fringe is. The fringe comes in lengths of 10 yards if she buys 1 package. So I need to know 10 yards is how many inches. So I have to think, which is bigger? I'm losing my... Okay, sorry. So I have to figure out which is bigger, a yard or an inch. Horse is bigger, so it's going to go horse to fly, multiply. And I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. I know that there are 3 feet in a yard. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 3 to figure out how many inches are in a yard. And I know that 12 times 3 is 36. So I'm going to multiply by 36. This is easy because all I have to do is do 36 times 1, which is 36, and I'm going to add a 0. So 10 times 36 is 360. She only needs 324. So I'm going to do, maybe, can't hit the page, 360 minus 324. So I can't do 10 minus 4, but I can borrow. This becomes a 5, and this becomes 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 5 minus 2 is 3. I can't do 3 minus 3, so I put a 0. So she is going to have 30... Well, oops. She's got 36 inches left. But then I just realized it wants to know how many feet she has left over. So you really have to pay attention to these questions. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now because I'm thinking of how much I miss you guys. So, Mine's thinking of other things. So she has 36 inches left, because remember, we converted it to inches. But I want to know how many feet that is. So, again, we're going to do fly to horse, divide, of course, and I know that there are 12 inches in a foot, so I'm going to divide by 12. So the answer is going to be 3. I guess we could have done this way too, and we could have converted that to feet. But it worked out because we just converted at the end. But you really have to pay attention, because in that question there were yards, inches, and feet, and if I wouldn't have paid attention at the end, I would have messed up the problem completely. Let's try one more, and then we'll go to our workbook pages. An office supply company is shipping a case of wooden pencils to store. There are 64 boxes of pencils in a case. Each box of pencils weighs 2.5 ounces. What is the weight in pounds of the wooden cases? So first I'm going to have to do 64 times 2.5 to figure out how many ounces it is. 64 times 2.5. And if you remember, you 2 and 5 times. You multiply normal and then you add that decimal. So 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 would be 32. And now I'm going to put a 0 and cross that out. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. And when I add, 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 1 plus nothing is 1. I'm going to put my decimal, it goes 1 over, so 160. So that's 160 ounces is what 64 pencil boxes would weigh. Now I'm going to have to figure out that in pounds. So 64, 160 ounces is how many pounds? So, fly to horse, divide, of course, and I know that there are 16 ounces in a pound, so I'm going to divide by 16. Well, what's 16 divided by 16? I know that's 1, and then I just add my 0, so 10. So that answer is 10. Since I feel like I kind of messed this up, I'm going to do some more. Let me clear some of these pages because it's making it hard for me to go back and forth. So let's try to take, so if you're in my classroom, we call this the voodoo part. This would be the part where you normally voo, as in work together, voo as in the plural of people. So we're going to do number 7 and number 8. A pitcher contains 40 fluid ounces of iced tea and 3 cups, Shelby pours 3 cups of iced tea. How many pints? So this is that problem I need to pay attention to again, because there's 3 different parts. How many pints of pitcher are left? So I'm going to draw myself a picture. There's a pitcher and it has 40 fluid ounces. She pours 3 cups of tea. Okay, I had to stop because they're making an announcement. So I'm pouring 3 cups of iced tea into a cup, obviously. And then I want to know how much would be left. So if this whole thing was full of 40 ounces and then I pour some out, what part would be left? Okay? So, and I need to know how much is left in pints. So there's lots of pieces here. So first off, if I have 40 ounces, how many cups is that? So let's convert that first. So 40 ounces, fluid ounces, is how many cups? And remember, I do which one's bigger. A cup is bigger. So fly to horse, divide, of course. And I know that there are 8 fluid ounces in a cup. So I'm going to divide by 8. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So there are 5 cups of iced tea in the pitcher. She's pouring out 3, so therefore there would be 2 cups left in the pitcher. But that's not my question. My question is how many pints is there in the pitcher? So I need to think about my gallon kingdom. In the kingdom of gallon, there are 4 queens. Each queen has a prince and a princess. And each prince and each princess has 2 cats. So when I do that, I can see 2 cups. 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. Well, oops, I shouldn't put that there, should I? 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. And I could have also just did that by saying 2 cups is how many pints? Well, a pint is bigger, so I'm doing fly to horse, divide of course, and I can see that there's 2 cups in a pint, so divide by 2, and I'm going to get 1. The picture really helps. Let's try the next question. Olivia ties 2.5 feet of ribbon onto 1 balloon. How many yards of ribbon does she need for 18 balloons? So feet and yards. So we have a balloon. I'm going to draw me a picture. We have a balloon, and she's tying ribbon, and the ribbon is 2.5 feet long, and she's doing that for 18 balloons. So 18 times 2.5. Remember, I really pretend I'm multiplying by 25, and then I add a decimal. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 1 plus 4 is 9. Get rid of that, put my 0. 2 times 8 is 16, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. When I add that, 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then I don't forget my decimal, I get 45. So that's 45 feet of ribbon. But I want 45 feet of ribbon, I need to convert that. So 45 feet is how many yards? So I have to think which is bigger, a foot or a yard? A yard is bigger, so I'm doing fly to horse, divide of course, and I'm going to divide by how many feet are in a yard, and I know there's 3 feet in a yard, so I'm dividing by 3. So 45 divided by 3. 3 can go into 4 one time. I subtract and get 1, bring down the 5. 3 can go into 15 5 times, so the answer would be 15 yards of ribbon. Okay, I'm going to now go to our 6 questions. So normally if you were in my class, we would do these questions and get them checked. So if you want to pause it and then get them checked, you can. If not, we're just going to keep going. Okay, so we are going to keep going. Leah is buying curtains for her bedroom. I'm not sure if you can see that, so I'm going to make that one bigger. Leah is buying curtains for her bedroom window. She wants the curtains to hang from the top of the window to the floor. The window is 4 feet high. The bottom of the window is 2.5 feet above the floor. How many inches long should the curtain be? So she has a window, and she wants the curtains to hang down, but she also wants them she wants the curtains to hang from the top of the window to the floor, so down. So the window, it says the window is 4 feet high, and the bottom of the window is 2.5 feet above the floor. How many inches would the curtains need to be? So 4 plus 2.5 would be 6.5, or 6.5. And then it wants me to change that 6.5 into inches. So that's 6.5 feet into inches. So let's do that. 6.5 feet, or 6.5 feet, is how many inches? So let's do this. Let's convert the 6 feet first, and then we're going to add the half. So 6 feet is how many inches? Well, I'm going horse to fly, multiply, and I know there's 12 inches in a foot, so I'm going to multiply by 12. 6 times 12, I know is, just make sure, 2 times 6 is 12, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 72. Now, I have to add a half of that. Well, what's half of a foot is 6 inches, so I'm just going to add 6 inches. So 72 inches plus 6 inches would really be 78 inches. Let's look at the next question. Brady buys 3 gallons of fertilizer for his lawn. After he finishes spraying the lawn, he has 1 quart of fertilizer left over. How many quarts of fertilizer did he spray? So, I need to know, and I can do this really quick. So, Gallon Kingdom, I know that there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Well, he buys 3 gallons. So, 3 gallons equals how many quarts? Okay, so people keep coming into my classroom, so I'm going to keep trying to do this question. So 3 gallons is how many quarts? So I know that there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So horse to fly, multiply, and I'm going to multiply by 4. And I'm going to get 12. So I know there are 12 quarts in a gallon. So I have to go back to the question now. So he buys 12 quarts of fertilizer. And when he sprays, he has 1 quart left. So how many did he use? Well, 11. He would have used 11 quarts. Okay, number 3. A jump rope is 9 feet long. How long is the jump rope in yards? So 9 feet is how many yards? Don't know what I was going to draw there. Fly to horse, divide, of course, and I know there's 3 feet in a yard, so I'm going to divide by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. That one was pretty simple. Fill in the blanks to make this true. 8 cups is how many quarts and how many pints? So good thing I have my picture I can finish. Each pint, or 2 pints in every quart, so each queen has a prince and a princess. And each prince and each princess has 2 cats. So I think it said, let's go back and see what the question said. The question said 8 cups. So if I count my 8 cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I just worry about this section right here, how many quarts is that? 1, 2, so 2 quarts. How many pints is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. Okay, next question. Nope, I might have to take number 5 says, what is the unknown number in sequence in the chart? So let's figure this out. I'm going to compare sequence 1 to sequence 2. That's 3 times what gives me 6? 2. Or 3 plus 3 is 6. But if I do the addition, 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. That doesn't work, so I have to do multiplication. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 9 times 2 is 18. 15 times 2 is 30. What's 21 times 2? 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So 42 is going to be my missing number. I also could have figured it out this way. From 1 to 6, it went up by 5 or multiplied by 6. 2 times 6 is 12, so it must be multiplication. So 6 times 2 is going to be 42. A farmer divides 20 acres of land into 1/4 acre. Into how many sections does a farmer divide her land? So she has 20 acres, and she's dividing it into 1/4 sections. So remember, with division of fractions, I keep, I flip, I change. I keep the 20. I'm going to flip the 1/4 to make it 4/1, and I'm going to divide that and multiply. So 20 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8, add the 0. So she's going to have 80 sections, which if you think about it, that probably makes sense. So she has 20 acres. If she has an acre and she divides that into 4, so you're going to have 4 of those times 20, you're going to have 80. Okay, we're done for math, and you're probably happy because I made next time I'll try to record at home when I can focus more. But hopefully you get your math done, and I'm planning on recording some videos of me reading social studies and maybe some, also some novels. I got a lot of books from the library that I can read to you guys for the next few weeks. So enjoy your day and make sure you're wearing green. Bye.